So friends, let's see today's lovely recipe of eggless apple turnovers. So here I'm going to be using one apple which I've washed really well and wiped dry, and I'm just going to cut them up into small pieces or cubes like this. Now you can use the peel or you can take off the peel and then cut the apples. I'm retaining the peel. So just cut it up into small cubes like this. And now to these I'm going to add the juice of half a lemon. So that works out to about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. This will add flavor to this filling, as well as it won't discolor the apples and the apples won't turn brown. Now mix it up really well so that all of the lime juice gets mixed up with all of the apple cubes. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of melted butter. So mix in the butter well too. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Now, brown sugar is easily available online or in general stores. Now, mix this in really well. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. All I did is took cinnamon and just grated it on my cheese grater or any fine grater, or you can use ready-made cinnamon powder. And I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of flour, that is all-purpose flour or maida. This will, the apples won't cling together and become a mush because of the flour. So when you bite into the apple turnover, you'll actually get the apple pieces. So now our filling is ready. Now I have just recently posted a eggless puff pastry which has no butter in it either. So I'll leave a link to that. I'm using that puff pastry today. So I'm just going to dust my surface and I'm going to roll out my puff pastry. To form a large square. This is a super simple recipe of making puff pastry at home. Please go and check that recipe out. I will leave a link in the description box below. Now I'm just going to use my pizza cutter and just even it out into squares, and then I'm going to cut it up into 4 even squares like this. Then I'm going to just fold it a little so I get a middle line, and on one side, in the center exactly, of that line, I'm going to put the filling that we just prepared. Now using the same recipe of this filling, I also made some mini apple pies. So do check that recipe out. As well as I have a recipe for an actual pie, apple pie. I'll leave that too. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of melted butter and just, brush the edges. That way when I fold it like this, the edges will stick together. So just stick the edges really well and with a fork, just press them down. This will give you a nice design, and also it will seal the turnover so that the apple's juice doesn't come out when you're baking it. Now preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes in the meantime, and brush the top of this with some melted butter. And then you're just going to bake this in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Till they turn out to be nice and golden brown. And your apple turnovers are ready. Now I'm going to make a lovely dressing for this. Now for that, I'm taking 2 tablespoons of cheese spread, the normal cheese spread that we use for making sandwiches. To that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of melted butter. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And I'm going to mix all of this really, really well together. And then you will get this lovely creamy texture, which you're just going to drizzle on top of these apple turnovers. This is so delicious. So in a nice fancy or any type of pattern, you can just drizzle this over the turnovers, and this really elevates the flavor of these turnovers, and they're so delicious. This is a must try, and I recommend that you do give it a try as soon as possible. Apples are available all the time now. So I hope you like today's recipe, and also check out the other apple recipes that I'm going to put in the description box below. Do give them a try. And go and check out my channel. I have more than 800 recipes and I've divided them into playlists. So when you go to my home page and you see playlist, you'll see all the different categories of recipes. So thank you so much for being here and supporting Akshata's recipes and watching my videos. Don't forget to share my videos to family and friends, to give this video a like, and also do subscribe. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.